Hi friends, I'm Sophia. Welcome back to Pixelpalette Dream Home. There is something absolutely magical about the month of March, isn't there? It acts as a lovely transitional bridge between the quiet, dormant days of winter and the vibrant, lively explosion of summer. I remember when I was a little girl watching my grandmother step out onto her back porch. Her apron was always tied neatly at the waist, and she carried a woven wicker basket along with a pair of trusty old garden shears. She knew exactly which branches were ready to be coaxed into early blooming indoors. That simple act of bringing the outside in completely transformed the atmosphere of her house, making everything feel renewed, fresh, and full of hope. Today we are going to capture that exact feeling and sprinkle a little bit of that nostalgic springtime magic all throughout our living spaces. Speaking of those early signs of the season, I would absolutely love to hear from you right now. What blooms the most in March where you live? Are you seeing bright yellow daffodils popping up through the morning frost, or perhaps some early delicate tulips? Let me know down in the comments. As we get older and wiser, we realize our homes are our greatest sanctuaries. We spend a lot of time making highly practical adult decisions. We might be checking on current mortgage rates, calling around for better home insurance quotes, or budgeting for necessary repairs with home improvement loans. But once the paperwork is put away and the practicalities of the real estate market are completely handled, what truly matters is how our space makes us feel on a daily basis. You certainly do not need to hire expensive interior design services to create a picturesque haven. The most breathtaking transformations often come from a simple handful of fresh-cut stems and a touch of creativity. One of my absolute favorite ways to invite the cottagecore farmhouse aesthetic into a room is by rethinking the vessels we use for our floral arrangements. Forget about standard glass vases from the florist. Instead, let your imagination wander back in time. I adore scouring flea markets, local antique shops, and estate sales for pieces that have lived a whole life before finding their way to me. A chipped ironstone pitcher, a weathered tin bucket, or even an old, beautifully branded tea canister can become the perfect home for a messy, effortless bouquet of sweet peas or hydrangeas. The patina on these older items contrasts so beautifully with the soft, delicate petals of freshly cut flowers. Before we move into the dining room, tell me, what do you like to display your flowers in? Do you have a favorite crystal vase that was passed down through your family? Or are you like me and prefer a rustic, unconventional container? Share your favorite display ideas with me below. Moving along, let us talk about the majestic beauty of flowering branches. If you have access to a yard or even a friendly neighbor who doesn't mind sharing, foraging for early spring branches is a fabulous way to create a dramatic, sweeping focal point. Forsythia, pussy willows, and cherry blossoms are spectacular choices for March. When you place a tall, arching branch in a sturdy stoneware crock on your kitchen island or entryway table, it instantly draws the eye upward and breathes profound life into the room. It feels as though a piece of the sprawling countryside has gracefully taken root right in your home. Another delightful element of spring farmhouse decorating involves refreshing our textiles. After months of heavy wool blankets and thick velvet curtains, March is the ideal time to fold those away and introduce lighter, breezier fabrics. Think about crisp linens, cotton table runners featuring subtle floral chintz patterns, and embroidered throw pillows. Draping a vintage floral patterned quilt over the back of an armchair introduces an inviting pop of color and texture without feeling overwhelming. These small adjustments effortlessly elevate the overall cheerfulness of the room, inviting the sunshine to bounce beautifully across your furniture. Let us not forget the heart of the home, the kitchen. The cottagecore lifestyle is deeply rooted in the idea of practicality meeting beauty. A line of small weathered terracotta pots sitting on the sunlit windowsill, filled with vibrant fresh herbs like sweet basil, fragrant rosemary, and zesty mint, not only provides fabulous ingredients for your evening family meals, but also acts as stunning, living decor. The earthy fragrance they release when the gentle afternoon breeze catches them is simply heavenly, instantly transporting you to a rustic European countryside. You can also hang small, carefully tied bunches of dried lavender or chamomile from a rustic wooden drying rack above the stove. It adds that quintessential old-world charm, reminding us of simpler, quieter times when every home had a thriving kitchen garden situated right outside the back door. Finally, if you happen to have a sunroom, a welcoming covered porch, or even just a bright little corner nestled by a large window, dedicate that specific space to the pure joy of potting and tending to plants. Set up a humble, distressed wooden bench, scatter some vintage gardening tools, a bag of rich, dark potting soil, and your absolute favorite flower seeds. This creates a beautifully authentic, dedicated zone that genuinely celebrates the magnificent season of growth. It is incredibly rewarding to get your hands a little dirty, patiently planting seeds that will soon sprout and grow into the very blooms you will display on your dining table in the coming months. Creating a cottagecore farmhouse vibe in March is not about achieving perfection. It is about celebrating the perfectly imperfect beauty of nature, honoring the memories of the past, and finding immense joy in the little things. It is about opening the windows, letting the crisp breeze sweep away the staleness of winter, and welcoming the cheerful optimism of a new season. Thank you so much for joining me today on this little tour of spring inspiration. If you enjoyed our time together, please be sure to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up. Your support means the world to me, and it helps our little community grow. Until next time, keep finding beauty in the everyday, and happy decorating.